Hello everyone, it's me Pasang and welcome to my channel. Today we are officially starting our Python tutorial series and this is going to be the first video, a more of a setup video for starting your Python journey. In this episode, I will walk you through the most basics of not Python but programming. Obviously there will be Python code as well, but this video will explain you how to install Python the right way, setting up a clean code editor and which editor I'm actually going to be using in this series, along with writing your very first Python program. By the end of this video, you will know how Python files work, how to run them, and I will also show you a couple of functions and some basic errors and what they are, which a lot of tutorials don't really show, but I think it's good to understand them from the beginning because these are some very common errors. So yeah, let's get right into the video. Okay, so step 1, let's install Python. So for that, head to python.org. As you can see, I'm already there, and this is the official website for Python. Installing Python, learning Python, whatever it is, or the Python community as well. As I said, it is also a great place to actually learn. I think that once you have finished this overall series, or even while we are doing the series, I would suggest you guys to go to this website, and all the way down here in documentation there are a lot of docs including beginner's guide, developer's guide, non-English docs as well, books, essays, a lot of things, even a great community. So I would recommend you guys to go on here, check what's going on with the Python community. Like when I hear about new Python version coming, I usually go to this website and see what changes have been made in the recent version. So it's a good place to learn about everything Python and keep up with the news regarding Python. So yeah, let's get to the important part, that is downloads. So as you can see, we have a download option here. You can go from here as well. You can download it for Windows, Mac OS or other platforms like Linux, but I am assuming that you guys are in Windows and I'm also in Windows. So just click on Windows and then download the installer. Just click on it, basic download stuff, and as you can see, it will be automatically installer will be download. Click on it. Obviously I'm not going to install Python right now because I already have Python, but there is one thing that you do need to remember, because instead I said installing Python the right way. Please make sure to click on add Python to path. This will do is that it will automatically add python.exe to the path, that is the environment variables, and this is very important because without actually assigning it on a path on the environment variables, you cannot run Python. So please make sure to check that. By default it's usually unchecked, but you should check that and then install. You're probably going to have like next install, whatever it is. Follow that and wait for it to install. I already have it, so I'm not going to install it for now. And now if you want to check if your Python has been installed, open your cmd and then type in python -- version. So as you can see, it will show you the Python version that you have. Actually I should have probably installed it because it seems I don't have the latest one, but either way, this is the method of knowing if you have Python installed in your system or not. And now we are getting into the code editor part. So the most common code editor is obviously Visual Code or VS Code, but for Python we have something else, and that is PyCharm, developed by JetBrains. Maybe you know about IDEs, but it doesn't matter. But this is a code editor that is specifically designed for Python. So because of that, I recommend PyCharm, because as I said, it is made for Python. So I think it has a lot of features that are very good for Python programming, and I would recommend you download this. And also I'm going to be using PyCharm to teach in this series, so maybe it would be better if you use that, but like using VS Code isn't a problem either, because it's pretty much everything is pretty much the same. I guess maybe I'll show you some shortcut in PyCharm. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. It is simple. Click on download and click on the simply download it for your operating system, Linux, Mac OS, Windows, whatever it is. Simply download it and install it. Again, basic installation as any other programs. So yeah, otherwise if you don't know how to install, then obviously there is installation instruction as well. As you can see, there's pretty much no instruction here because it's simple. Just follow the steps suggested in the wizard and yeah, you should be ready. Okay, so when you open PyCharm for the first time, you will see something like this. Well, obviously without the projects, and yeah, there's so few projects here, only 5, but I did used to use VS Code, and when I switched to PyCharm, I found PyCharm to be way better, so I have slowly started to see my project here. But yeah, this is what you will see. And to start your Python journey, click on new project and obviously write the name of the project wherever you want to save it, and name your Python project whatever you want. So let's say for this we will go YouTube Assam. So there is simple stuff. You don't need to change anything, just change the name and click on create. Just like that, your Python project is ready. Now you are ready to begin your Python programming. So obviously the project we created is simply a folder. It is nothing special. It is simply a folder, but obviously you can't code in the folder, you need a file. So now in order to actually code it, right click on it, or you can click here as well, but right click on this and on new, and from new click on Python file and name your file. Okay, so for this, let's say we are going to name it episode1 episode1.py. The .py will be selected as we choose Python file. So now this is your environment, this is where you actually code. So now let's write our very first line of code, and obviously like any other programming language, we start with hello world, or printing hello world to be exact. Now how exactly do we do that? And in Python, unlike some other programming language, you can actually do it in a single line by using a single function, and the function is called, well, it's called print. And printing out code is usually called print in most programming languages as well, but I guess there's like programming languages such as C++ where it will be different, but usually it is print is related to print. So we put the software brackets in there. That is how you define a function, but that's different. Define or call a function. So this is that we are calling the print function. If we run it right now, obviously we will not get any output, but it is running properly. There is no error, which means we are simply calling the function print, but we are not passing any arguments there. But this is something we learn when we are learning about Python function. So basically, simply whatever you write inside of this will be printed. So if you want to print strings or characters, you need to use double quotation. So let's say we go hello. Actually, I don't even need to type hello. You can simply write tab. So this is one feature about PyCharm, that the code will be auto completed if it is like very generic or very basic. As I said, like hello world, not everything, but usually the most repetitive usually has the auto completed, and we just need to press tab. That is a feature that is not, I don't think is available by default. I'm pretty sure it's not available by default in VS Code. You need to like install some extension, but there is one extra feature for PyCharm, and maybe if you want to learn it, then I guess VS Code could be better because you actually will be writing your code. But even if you're using PyCharm, don't try to write it. I don't know if there is a way to turn the tab off or not. I'm not too sure. Maybe there is, yeah, there must be. But for developers like us, who know what they are doing, is it makes your work a lot more efficient. So yeah, so we have print hello world, and if we click the green icon over here, I guess I forgot to say that at the beginning, there's like a pause button, play button. Basically click on that, and now as you can see in the terminal, we have hello world. Hello world has been printed. And by the way, if you hover in that run button, as you can see, it says shift F10. If you press shift F10, then it will automatically run. You can change this. From settings, key map. I guess there was a shortcut there, but in key map you can actually change how to basically change your shortcut. So if we search run, then we have run configuration. As you can see, or if you scroll down here and run, we have shift F10 is the default shortcut to run your file. Obviously you can change it by clicking on it, removing the current shortcut or adding the shortcut. Obviously we have mouse shortcut, abbreviation, etc. You can change it if you want. I don't really want to change it right now. So this is how you print strings or characters, words, letters, whatever it is. So what if you want to print, let's say, numbers? Now obviously you could print numbers inside of it, because if you run it, it will still work 33, right? But again, this is something we'll go in the next video when you're learning what data types. But this is actually not a number. This will be 33 will be classified as a string. So if you try to, we're not going to do it round, but if we try to add any other number with 33, then the addition will be not perform or any other thing, because it will be treated as a string. So if you want to actually print number, you don't need quotations. You simply write the number you want to print, run it, and as you can see, again, if you look at the output, then it will still be 33, but it will be better. Another thing you can do in print is that you can actually perform calculation inside print itself. So if we run this program, then as you can see, the output will be 82, 88, 33 plus 55 is 88. Now you can do that for everything. You can do minus, plus, multiplication, whatever it is, you can do it inside print function itself. As I said, I'll show you a couple of functions. So another function that I'm going to show you guys is called input function. So input function is how you, well, before input function, I'll show you what a variable is. So let's say name equals to, first let me write the full program. So name equals to input, enter your name. So the name here is a variable, which we'll again learn much more detail in the next video, actually right in the next video. If you run this program, then what will happen is enter your name will be shown in the terminal, where the users can actually enter their actual name inside the terminal itself. So if you do name here, print name, obviously, because that is what we are, okay, that's what you are printing. So if you run this program right now, in terminal, as you can see, it says enter your name. So if I enter my name, Pasang, when I press enter, it will print the name variable. As you can see by the stop sign over here, the program is actually still running because we are still in the terminal. If I press enter, then Pasang or my name will be printed, because, well, that's the function of print, right? Basically the input function is basically the string, pressing the string that you have placed inside the function, and what it will do, it is actually allows you to store value. It allows the user to store their own custom values inside the variable, and in this case being the variable name. Otherwise the name variable is empty, but what input allows is, it allows the users to assign their own values into the name variable or the custom values. As you can see, it only says print name, obviously only prints the name Pasang. So what if I want to print my name is Pasang? So for that, so we go double quotation, we type my name is, close the double quotation, and then plus name. And what it allows, so I think you kind of guess what is going to happen, because we saw that we can add numbers, right? So similar to that, in print statement we can also combine strings. So here the result, I think you can guess, it will be my name is will be printed first, and then whatever the value we put in name, printed by being combined with my name is. So if you run the program, let's say enter name, we go Pasang YT, then my name is Pasang YT, and obviously the space here is due to we having space over here, it is needed, otherwise they will be combined. Let's see what happens if you actually use comma here instead of plus. Let's go same name Pasang YT. As you can see, it is still the same. So this is actually the basic way of doing it. Plus, so when would you use plus, you may ask? So plus is when you want to actually combine them. So if we, let's say we have name and we have to add something else, then the name and some other string, that in that case plus will be helpful. But also when you use comma, you actually don't need to include the extra space there anymore, because if you run it, the space will still be there. This space actually is auto created, so you don't need an extra space here. But if you added plus, you needed to do that. Now again, this is the first video, so those are things we will go in detail later on. I know a lot of YouTubers usually say like, I will teach you this later on, and don't teach it, but this is something we will definitely teach it, because it's something you have to know. So for now, for your first code, for your first Python program, this is all you need to know, and this is how you write your first name or your first hello world, whatever it is. Now let's move on to errors. As I said in the beginning, errors is something that a lot of people don't teach, but I think it is better that you do know what these errors are. Two types I'm going to teach you guys two types of error. The first error is going to be related to syntax. So Python is very case sensitive. It is very strict. If you try to change print to, let's say, capital P, then as you can see, we are already getting the error here. Why? Because that's not how it works in Python. It is very case sensitive and very strict. So it has to be print with capital P and small p, and input with small I. Capital doesn't make sense. So if you try to run this program, let's say we have the input is valid, right? So input is still working. We can still type in Pasang, but print is not valid, so it will give you this error. So everything here doesn't matter. It actually shows where the error is. For basic error, you can find out the error immediately, but this is what is important, what I'm trying to teach. So name error is an error that is being thrown due to syntax error. And as you can see, for basic errors, it will actually tell you what it is. So did you mean print? So with a small print. So if you make some mistake in the name in Python, you will get the name error. So now the other types of error is called syntax error. So now for that, what I think you can guess it. So the syntax for print or for any function will be these brackets. So if I remove the bracket over here, obviously I'm getting an error sign over here. And if I try to run this file, we'll get a syntax error. And as you can see, it says syntax error, the bracket was never closed. So if you like remove the first bracket as well, you will still get the same error, syntax error, invalid syntax. So the syntax for functions is that you need 2 brackets. So obviously if you don't have them, then you will run into the syntax error. So those are the 2 types of error that you need to know. Name error when the name is different or case sensitive problems, and syntax error when the syntax is not what is intended. And actually you get a syntax error when you also remove this comma or remove anything here. If you run it, it will go syntax error, and as you can see, it says perhaps you forgot a comma, and obviously that is what we forgot. So let's run it again. Let's try actually hello world this time. My name is hello world. So that right there is the 2 types of error you need to know, or you should be familiar with as we get into more stuff later on. So another cool thing is that this works for any other program. So currently we're in the run space. So if you go on the terminal space, and if you are in the right folder, like we are in the right project or folder, YouTube Pasang. Now if you type in Python and the name of the file that you want to actually run, episode1.py, this will actually run your program through the command line. So even in CMD, if you go into CMD, actually I guess I will show you through CMD rather than the terminal in Python. So for this you need to know CMD course. So basically C dot will go back, and there's something different. But if you are in the right folder, YouTube Pasang, as you can see, we're in the right folder. And if I type in Python episode1.py and press enter here, as you can see, the Python program has actually been run. So this is a way you can actually run your Python program through your command line itself, through the command line or through the CMD itself. Now obviously this is something that isn't particularly recommended for larger projects, but for simpler one file projects, this is another way you can run it. This is another method to run your Python, run your programming files, but just make sure that you are in the right directory that your file is being saved at. So congrats, you have just installed Python and returned your first real code. I think in this video I have shown you guys everything to begin with your Python journey, a way to set up and be ready for properly getting into Python. So in the next video we will be diving into the actual Python program, into the actual Python basics. As I said at the beginning of this video, this was more of a programming basics, but from next video we'll go into fully dive into Python. In next video I will teach you the actual basics of Python, including variables, data types, type conversion, and everything in between those things. So if you like this video and if you want to see more videos like this and follow this Python tutorial, then make sure to subscribe, like, and comment on video if you missed something, or if you think I did something wrong, or if I didn't explain it out properly, or any advice you want to give. Make sure to comment down below, and as I said, give it a like because it really helps grow the channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys in next video, next tutorial. Bye and take care.